Alrighty, folks. So another week is well underway, and for the first trading day, markets appear to be risk off as what they seem to be bracing for what's to come today with the inflation data. Aside from inflation rate month on month, forecasts are pointing to an overall increase in rates, adding to the cautious tone that's kind of setting itself up throughout today. And then also, you have quite a lot of analysts and people throwing their hat into the ring with regards to parallels with the dot-com Boston boom and the way current markets are sitting at the moment. So there's still quite a strange sense of caution that's creeping over the market at the moment. But yeah, we'll jump on and take a look at oil. So yesterday, oil had a fairly slow start with overnight trading just being held under the daily pivot at 63.56 before managing to gain it there just after 10 o'clock and then pushing up to the R1 target for the day at 64.36. So decent enough move there for oil, but it was unable to really break any of the structure that it had set on Friday and just really stalled going out throughout the rest of the day. So really the bulls would want to hold 63.80 for today and then push up into the supply zones above there, so really 64.60. If we come down to 63.80 and fail, then we're going into the demand, and the demand is currently sitting just under the weekly open there at 63.28. So that's really going to be the level there that you don't want to see any major loss. So if you start seeing that, then I would expect this to start moving towards the 0.75 of the range. And then gold. So gold, on the other hand, had a fairly continuous sell-off throughout the day. So pretty much an instant loss of the daily pivot overnight at 33.94, and then selling off right the way down to 33.42. So quite a significant sell-off for gold. Again, possibly leading into a little bit of de-risking across the board for equities and commodities, just with inflation data due to come out later today. There could be a good likelihood or a strong likelihood there that markets just want to sit back on and just kind of rest out for a little bit until this data comes out. If we then take a look at the sectors, you can see here pretty much a fairly red day across the board with consumer discretionaries putting in a 0.26% gain on the day, and then you also have communications popping off with a 0.5% gain on the day there. So yeah, not too major, but the losses themselves weren't that major either, with the likes of technology only being down 0.7% on the day, with real estate following quite similar at 0.6%. In the Mag 7, you only had Tesla putting in positive gains, which are playing out pretty well from how we highlighted the price squeeze that was going on with Tesla, and you can see here that it has actually popped to the top side. So we'll see here. This is going to be the back test really of the breakout coming up here now. So if we can hold this level at around 328, I would expect us to continue to push up into the yearly open, and that's the breakout to the top side on Tesla. The S&P 500. S&P 500 yesterday was not really the best. We just rolled over, kind of a bit of a curve off throughout the day, not really gaining any ground and only losing the daily pivot just towards the end of the session there. So really, for today, we need to get back above 63.81. Failure to get back above 63.81. Then we're looking at 63.55. And yeah, if we can actually get the daily pivot, our top side targets would be pretty decent there. It'd be 63.99, just call it 6400. However, with the likes of inflation data coming out, you very well could have a bit of volatility going up, down, and then just kind of finishing off similar to where we had started prior to the announcement. So just look out for that kind of price action across the board today. At the Nasdaq, similar story to the S&P 500, quite a curved top there throughout yesterday. Not really gaining any ground, rejecting hard off the weekly open throughout the day, and then losing the daily pivot just at the end of the trading session. So really, we need to regain 23,568. And then that way we can target the R1 there to the top side. Any failure here at the daily pivot, then yeah, I would expect us then to come down into the demand zone here at 23,438. And lastly, the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones, as always, followed the other two fairly similarly. However, it had a bit of additional volatility stretched in with it as well. So you can see there throughout the day, we pretty much played all the levels. Downside targets were tapped there at the S1. However, we just front ran on the top side there of the monthly pivot. So pretty weak in that sense that we weren't able to even push to the monthly pivot. But for today, we're really going to need to get back above the weekly here, and there really is that's a strong block of supply that you would have to break through. So yeah, really the stacked pivots here aren't a good sign, especially if they're going to be acting as resistance. You would have to break through that quite significantly and retake August really for the top side to be clear for a move up. But we'll see. It's inflation data day, so as always, expect additional volatility. And yeah, have a good one, folks.